Hiya, how you doing? Have you done something fun yet? Oh, let's do something fun together. Like, do a project from the Sophie and Toffee Mermaid box. Yay! Well, I really debated whether or not we were going to do this one. But, here we go. Enjoy the roller coaster. This is the new resin that I'm going to try. Here's all the warning instructions and what have you. So, using this, please be careful. The one I showed you was a test piece of one that I did. Here's the tool I'm going to be using. It's a silicone brush. And I'm doing something slightly different with this one because the other one kind of curled up on me. But when I think about it properly, don't copy me. Don't do this. And you'll see why later. I'm just putting enough on to put a very thin layer at the bottom. Mistake number one. I should have gone with a thick layer at the bottom and thinner layers later on. But you'll see how it goes. But here we go. Spreading it out with the silicone tool. Because it's too gloopy to get a thin layer with this UV resin. Now this technique is really easy, well I wouldn't say easy, but it's easier to get using 2-part resin, but I wanted to have a go and see if you could do it with UV resin. Just, you know, to give you different options kind of thing. Obviously with the UV resin you do need to do it with thinner layers. Yeah, I haven't put enough in, so I'm going to put a bit more in now. But if I was to do this again, what I would do is a thick, clear bottom layer, so that it had some stability when adding the thinner layers above. And I would make sure it was fully cured and fully cooled before starting to work on it later on. Having to do this during the day because, well, things happen, life happens, and hoping you don't hear the traffic too much because I'm quite near a big road. Okay, so we're going to colour the sand with some acrylic paint. Now this we got in a Sophie and Toffee ocean box thing, I think, quite some time ago. And I haven't actually used that box either, so, oh, nice, dog hair. Yeah, so just mixing a little bit in. You don't need a lot of this. A tiny bit goes far with this paint. So just making sure I get to the edges. And getting a good colour mix as I go along. Yeah, I think I should have done more sand than I actually do, but because when I match it up to the other one's got a lot more sand on it. Not sure if I'm going to end up with a set of 4 or not. Yeah, I've already got paint on me. Just going to mix this up at the bottom first of all, get all the bottom done, and then I'll mix the two together, as you'll see in a minute. So just making sure to get all around the edges. As you can see, there's still not enough resin in there, but I decided to mix in the paint anyway, and that's probably another mistake that I made. Because now I've got paint on those edges and probably no resin. Or very little resin. But anyway, I keep going as I do. You know what I'm like. Yeah, if you're looking for a channel that's going to show you perfection and, you know, gorgeous pieces at the end, then you need to go and watch someone else, because that's not what you get on this channel. You get the disasters and panics and all the stuff that you would imagine I show you it all. Okay, just mixing the two together so it's not a hard line. Just giving it a few squiggles so it looks more natural. Just getting it so I'm happy with it. There we go, happy with it. Just make sure the rest is all coloured in. Right, now I've hardened that and I've added a bit more resin to where the sand is, because I'm going to put actual star sand in there. This came from the ocean box as well, I believe. Yep, just going to get my scoopy tool and scoop some sand in. Slowly add it in bit by bit. Don't want tons in there, but I do want to cover it so it looks nice. There we go. And there you go, that's it, hardened under the light. Okay, this layer is another thin layer which I'm going to add in the glitter. Struggle with that word for some reason. Yeah, so I'm going to add in some glitter so it looks nice and shimmery and shiny. So far so good, as you can see, all's going well. I'm just going to use my tool again. And for those that don't know me, I struggle to wear gloves, so with UV resin, I know it says skin irritant, I have a pack of wet wipes right next to me. So if I do my best not to get any on my skin. If I do get any on my skin, I wipe it straight off with wet wipes. I also clean my tools and stuff as I'm going along, so I haven't got a sticky surface. But there we go, just making a nice thin layer, making sure it goes to the edges. And then adding some lovely glitter. It's gorgeous glitter that comes in with this kit. Now the reason why I'm doing this and I'm not using the moulds that came with the kit is because I wanted to do something just a little bit different. I really love the pictures that came with the kit, and I wanted to just do something with those other than just, you know, adding them into the shell or something. I wanted to make more of a point of those. So just, I don't want to add in tons, and I didn't want to make a big, I just want to have the odd bits. Oh, I put too much on there and it's all stuck into the, so now I'm picking up loads of resin on my tool. So I'm going to give that a clean off. There we go. That's kind of how I wanted it. Right, I didn't show you this because I totally panicked, but when I took this out of the lamp, it was practically curled up on itself. So I've spent a good 10 minutes pushing it down. I did use another tray, another silicone tray, so I wasn't touching it when it was hot. But yeah, it's still trying to curl up, so I'm still trying to push it down here. This is when it starts to go a little bit wrong, but it's doing okay. I know smudges and fingerprints will come out, that's not a problem, but yeah, I've managed to get it pretty straight now, but it still seems to be wanting to curl. So I'm trying to just get it to push down because I don't want it to curl up like the other one did. Like I say, if I was going to do this again, this is the reason I would put a thick layer at the bottom so you've got some stability, so that it, hopefully that would stop it from doing this. I'm just trying to push the tip there, the sand down. Debating whether to take it out of the mould or keep it in the mould. Decide to keep it in the mould. Now these are the pictures I was talking about, and they're absolutely stunning, but Sophie and Toffee's packed a heck of a lot into these pictures and not left you a lot of room to cut round, so you have to be really careful when doing this and make a decision on what you want to come out as you're cutting so that you don't ruin any of it. So I think I'm going to go for Ariel with her prince and the castle, flounder, a few of the bits around it, and maybe even this water lily at the bottom. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to show you the pain of cutting everything out, but you get the idea. You need to be really careful. Really watch what you're cutting, because otherwise you're going to cut through something that you want to keep. Yeah. Okay, so I've just dribbled a little bit of resin in there, and now I'm just placing the pieces in so that they are where I want them to be. I'm using a tool to push them down properly to try and get out any bubbles. Okay, decided to add a starfish. With the sand, you're not staying down. So I think I'm going to hold it down while I put it under the light. If I can get it turned on. Right, okay, that's all set. And now we're going to add, now so far so good. I'm happy with that. It looks really lovely. So I'm going to add in a fairly decent layer of resin at this point, and then add in the white for the waves. Now this is where I go really silly and I lose my mind. I totally and utterly forget a step on this, because at this point you're supposed to make like little waves without doing the blowy thing. That's just going to stay there static. And I should have put the white in, and I should have made pretty waves, and I should have hardened it at that point. And then you do a layer on top where you put some more white on, and you do the the hot air blower. But I forget the hardening of this bit, and I go straight in for the blowing it all over the place to make the waves. Yeah, making sure it's nice and hot. And this is where the disaster starts, and this is where I start to totally and utterly panic, as you'll see in a second. So yeah, getting the waves to come up. Do different directions, start the ripples, here we go. It's starting. But I'm losing the bottom bit, as you can see. And I'm not doing the right angle, so it's going, yeah, it's just kind of mixing in and floating away. And that's not what I want. Yeah, it's not doing what I want at all. And I kind of realised the mistake I've made, but I've gone a bit too far now. And that side started to curl up because of the heat, and so I go and heat it a bit more. Yeah, I'm totally losing my mind here because I know it's going wrong. And I'm panicking. It's totally going over my, and it's looking awful, and it's curling up. And I still keep going with the bloody blower. Oh, yeah, and I still keep going. Like, that's going to help. I'm just desperately trying to get it to do something. Yeah, it's just coming up all over the place. So yeah, I just like to, mix it all in, make it swirly, see if that helps. Oh, it's just going cloudier. I mean, look at me, I'm going frantic now. This isn't speeding up. This is the way I'm going. Oh, why? Why more heat? Seriously, Marie. Oh, yeah. You ever watch yourself doing something back and you're thinking, why? So, yeah, I keep going. It's not working. I'm doing my best to make it look something like I want it to look, and it's just not. And I'm not thinking anymore, and it keeps going. Oh dear, yeah. I'm, close to tears again at this point. Don't know what to do. In a total panic. This is just looking awful. Not what I wanted at all. Yeah, that's not helping, Marie. So I've now got two different tools trying to do something with it. Oh, squishing it down, letting it cool before I try and do anything more with it. I'm like, do I try and take all this resin off? But then it's a whole waste of resin. What am I going to do? It just looks awful. And then I remember the technique of putting the white on the top and then putting blobs of fresh resin to make it look clear again. So, but then I'm not even thinking on that. I just want to make the pictures clear. Why didn't you just do the blobs, Marie, so that it looks like drops in the water? But nah. Yeah. So this is kind of turning out to be like a dreamy scene of look back Ariel. You know, this is Ariel part 2 where she's dreaming and looking back at the pictures. And that's my reasoning, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, you've got to laugh. Yeah, so I keep going and trying to make it how I want it to look. It's getting there, kind of. Oh, this is going to be a whole heap of mess. But it's getting there. I decide, right, I'm just gonna put it under the heat lamp, under the UV lamp now. And this is what I have. It's all curled up. It kind of looks okay. I'm kind of happy with that. It's not as bad as it was. I'm just going to stick with that. I'm not going to mess with it anymore, but it's all curled up, and it's all dripped at the bottom. Bottom's a whole heap of mess. So, about 6.5 hours of clipping and sanding later, here we go. Yeah, just keep clipping the bits off that you don't want. And in those little nooks and crannies any way that I could. Some gone on the front, but Just trying to clip it all off. So yeah, this is as good as it's going to get. The front's gone really cloudy, but don't worry, I'll sort that out in a minute. I'm not going to do anything with the front until I've finished the back. That's as good as I've got the back. Lots of heating and flattening that I've done. Now I'm just going to put the last, yes, I do use this whole bottle. I'm going to use the last of the resin to just put a back coat on. To even it all out. Sort of dome it kind of thing. It's still not the best. It's not perfect. I wouldn't give it to anyone as a gift, but for me, it's fine. Have a go at this yourself and send me some pictures. I'd love to see you doing it right. I'd love to see people, you know, taking my failures and making successes. That would be awesome. So yeah, then the back. The back looks fine, kind of. Maybe I'll paint over that, I'm not sure. But just using some varnish for the front. It's UV varnish. You can use UV nail top coat. That does the same thing. As long as it's the clear, no wipe top coat varnish, then. And make sure it's a UV one so it cures with the UV light. And as you can see, you can now see that pretty flower. And it just clears everything up. All the fingerprints go. All the cloudiness goes. And you're back to nice, pretty pictures. Sorry if you can hear any kind of vehicle noise.
And that's everything. But before I go, the next time you decide you don't like the way someone looks, just remember, when you take away all the squishy parts, we're all just skeletons, aren't we? Try being kind. The results might just surprise you. Thanks for watching.